the loudest days are so quiet, and the quiet days are so lonely. In a room could be thousands, but to me, I'm still alone. Oh, the loudest days are still quiet, but they're easier with you. Well, that's what you taught me. Wish I saw your point of view. Really wanted was to not be alone, but in order to succeed I need to try and I don't. And wonder why nobody ever came to ask why. Am I to blame? And I hope I'll learn someday. And I hope I'll find a way. It's hard to move forward if I only look behind. I'll spend my days reminiscing. Oh, I'll never fail 'cause I'll never try.
His voice always blows me away. That's my little nephew.
Oh, wow.
Josiah. Yeah, it's like he hits that like bassy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't hear
that
him when he's normally talking. He doesn't have that deep bass sound, you know. And now he's like sounding like a friggin' 40-year-old man, black blues singer type thing, in the South, all that. But yeah, man. So hey, everybody, welcome to A Conversation With. There's a new show that we're doing, podcast we're doing, where we just have a talk with interesting people who are doing interesting in pop culture and comics and entertainment. It's not like an interview. Interviews, we do that on the plunge pop thing, which is just finding out more and more about a person's life. But this is more about what creativity they're involved in and having a conversation about that. And I've met Seth before here in about 2 years ago, and then we had him at an event, and then part of that also later on he came to our event up here in Whangarei. So he's a really great guy, and I thought it would be really cool to have a chat with him about his amazing creations and his hard work and cosplay, especially in New Zealand, which is really popping when it comes to things like cosplay. So without further ado, I'm just going to put you on solo, Seth, and I'll get you to tell people about yourself a bit so they're aware.
All right. Well, hi. Many of you who have been in the community a little while will know me primarily as Shinra Props or Cosplay Dad, showing my age a bit, primarily in the scene since I've been cosplaying 30-ish years. The ever amalgamation that comes from then that experience at events and knowing, right, okay, noticing when someone's a little hot or has been on their feet all day and not handling tight shoes or things with their cosplay. So knowing when to throw a bottle of water their way or throw a couple of high chews or some other candy just to keep them going till we get to the end of the day, recognizing some of the amazing work and effort that people put into their projects. Because as we know, cosplay really is just a free flow fandom art form. But yeah, aside from that, you typically see me at all of the Armageddons, and I try to go to other smaller, not to sound in any way, events that are around the country as well. But of course, it all depends on freedom, regardless of life and other commitments.
Yeah. Awesome. I didn't realize that you'd been in this for 30 years, man. Like, that's so cool. You know, I mean, a lot of people don't realize the amount of skill, the amount of dedication to what you do, as well as other people do in cosplay, bringing to life and making characters alive for people at events. I find that such an amazing thing. Give me one sec. I think somebody decided to mow their lawn.
Yep.
The reason I have the window open is because it's so hot. And it's like probably about sweltering 35 degrees Celsius. And it's summer here. And like, you know, I was falling asleep earlier, as I was saying to Seth, that it was so hot. And like, even though the windows are open, I still, you know, the heat was making me fall asleep. So yeah, I find, you know, that's something that I've really found really cool about the cosplay community, that there's so many people with so much love for certain different things, and not everybody's just one thing. You know, I look at you know, someone like Lynette, and she'll go into superhero, then she'll turn over to gaming, and then she'll go into like card gaming, and you're like, what's going on? You're video gaming, and now you're doing card gaming. But it's about love for the character. And I'm like, I'm going to put up this here, and I'll get you to talk more about, like, you know, more about what you do and played these things over the last 30 years.
So this was actually a project forecast for 2019. And a couple of them, people may recognize that I did actually get done. Alexander Anderson in the top corner there from Helsing, and has been a reasonably common go back to for me. Zagreus from the roguelike Hades managed to rush and get that done, which was acceptable. I still want to work on it. And it's that sort of thing that a cosplayer generally is never completely finished with a project. They'll either see things to improve on, or have picked up new skills, or learned a new material technique and gone, now I want to remake that. Steiner from Final Fantasy IX was to be part of a group. That didn't happen. Deathstroke below that from Batman Ninja? Or Samurai Batman. It was a interesting twist on, you know, sort of Batman and several of the villains ending up back in the Edo period of Japan. Which
Batman Ninja.
Yes, thank you. Which produced some amazing... Got some amazing costumes out of it. And so we were working on a group project to... Because as you know, a single cosplay from something that everyone's a fan of gets the wow factor. You get a group of people together, and it is the knock your socks off. Everyone just wants to stop and get a photo of the whole group sort of scenario. So it's always the goal. Similarly, the Emperor's New Groove image there. At some stage, I have a friend in the cosplay community who is a fantastic person, and very diverse, but also very set on the style of characters that she loves. And she is dying to do Yzma, but needs someone to be Kronk. And I'm like, okay, we're going to make that happen. complete with when they were doing some of the Santa parades. There would be sort of a Disney section and the floats and what have you. So the plan had been I was going to build a little wheeled Mikoshi so that, how Kronk transports Yzma in the backpack. She wasn't confident with that, but I'm like, right, well, I'll just make a little wheeled trolley so I can be running down the street with Yzma sitting in the Mikoshi behind me. The big photo in the middle there has been a very gradual project. As you can see, it is a huge endeavor, making the props to the full clip-on armor and helmet. I finally feel that I've got enough know-how for getting it done, but it's still just having the time to build into it and get it all collaborated, because it's Halo Emil crossed into Warhammer 40k, like you see with the Power Fist there and stuff. So it's going to be a heck of a beast of a cosplay, and I'm looking forward to when I do get it done. So it's always going to get done, but the goal is this year. It may not be, though. I've got to be realistic with things, especially with, as we say, work commitments, life commitments. The one on the far end was part of a was it Zach Fisher Arts reimagining of so many World of Warcraft characters if they were all servants of the Lich King, so all with the dark nighty vibe. Unfortunately, with the way 2019 went, I ended up inheriting 3 sets of jobs, so I was doing triple shifts pretty much the whole way up to getting the big Auckland October one, and I was given 4 days beforehand. It's like, there's no point in me tackling a costume, but let's see how many props I can make to ensure that everyone who was in the group of about 30 people that got the cosplay together to attend, especially some of them that, we've got amazing cosplayers all over the country. I've got some great friends down in Dunedin and Otago that really set the standard for high quality stuff coming out of New Zealand with wow factor. So it was right. Okay, if they're able to get up with their costume, but they can't pack a big prop, I can at least just give them something like that to pose with for the convention. And as I was talking to you just before stream, one of the other enormous goals for this year is, I'll slap that over the top. This guy, which Mass Effect Krogan, a lot of people will recognize that. Only those that got into Andromeda will really know this guy, who is known as the grumpy old man Krogan, hence why I feel it's perfect for me, especially going through conventions as nicknamed Convention Dad for looking after and including everyone. But I can't think of much else that I've got on the go for this year, but as we know, it's already a third of the way through, quarter of the way through.
What about like material wise and the cost factor and, doing something like that, like Krogan? Because I mean, I'm just looking at the amount of work and the amount of, the materials involved in that. And also how you go about choosing your materials,
That a degree of that comes with experience. I mean, for anyone who was looking to get into cosplay, the big thing of it is that it's an art form of you use what you've got access to try and create. I mean, a lot of my early cosplays were literally cardboard, duct tape, and paint. And that's what you use to build a suit of armor. Would it last more than the one day at convention? No. But it would look fantastic for the most part of the convention. And when it tore, well, hey, it's just cardboard and tape. If you can't patch it up with more tape, then build another bit of cardboard. But no, similarly, anyone looking to get in, I could highly recommend Spicy Thai, Sinit Spock Ho, because he is sort of if you know him in the New Zealand scene, he is the pinnacle. He's the guy who's made it. A cosplayer and costume designer who works for Weta Workshop and has done amazing things for Lord of the Rings, Thor Ragnarok, the live action Mulan, Ghost in the Shell. You know, as far as someone who was trying to think of a career in this, he's there. He's definitely the one to take advice from, and he's produced a couple of books for, you know, getting started and how he does things, of starting with, you know, making a stencil out of cardboard, and from that pattern, right, you can work out your layers, your design, thickness for angles, for then moving on to something like EVA foam, which is a bit more sturdy but flexible, or whether you then want to look at layering it with thermoplastic like Warbler or Deco, or whether there's some other project that would, you know, suitable material. For instance, since we've still got Drac up there, a lot of his, because basically it's going to be an entire layered suit over me, so I'll be dying of the heat, but thankfully with the space in his pack, I'll be able to build that kind of like one of those dome tents, using PVC pipe for the structure and then just a stretch fabric over the top, which will give me a decent amount of space so that I can throw in a vest of ice packs and that sort of thing to try and keep my core temperature from overheating. Decorating the bones across the top using, well, you could get sheets of it as basically expanded foam insulation sheets. Failing that, if that doesn't work, then over the top of some of the PVC pipe, I may just use the expanding foam cans so that I can shape those big bone frames over the top, and they'll be light, but at the same time they'll have enough durability. That, and then when it comes to putting the detail, some gesso, some weathering, a little bit of even just using a pencil to score to give it that bone look. And yeah, for some of the finer detailing, like the helmet that will become Drac's head, just layering EVA foam on top with some glazed PVA for the eyes, and you know, you can make it basically like a bicycle helmet that you strap and clip on, and still gives you enough freedom to move or sneak a camelback into your suit so that you can stay hydrated. I
was thinking of that. What was it with the black helmet one that you have? You know,
Guts' Berserker armor.
Because that's the one thing. Like, if that's the way you would make the helmet, so it just sits on you, and then you can just take it off when you feel a bit hot. Because I know you know, like our body's heat, what is like that 20% or whatever leaves out of our head. So, you know, think of the amount,
50%,
but like the sweat and all that going on, and it's got all this heat going, and be like,
no, and that's where it's important to know that you can, especially if you're new to conventions, knowing that there are areas and you're free to just go take a break. Someone sees you overheating, they will try and get you a chair or something so that you make sure that you can, if not sit, find somewhere to lean, take the helmet off, decompress. Someone asks you for a photo, just go, I'm sorry, man, look, I need 5 minutes. Come back in 5 minutes. Because, and that's the thing, is that I'm unfortunately one of those people with an internal body temperature. I'm a combustion engine. I can run around in a snowstorm in Jandal's shorts and a singlet. Several years ago, a Wellington Armageddon was absolutely abysmal weather. Apparently some people did get hypothermia enough to be checked into medical professionals. Wow. I was wearing Mistigan from Fairy Tale, so a cloaked figure that's covered. I became one of those space heaters because I just had this huddle of people underneath the cloak huddling around me, cursing as to why are you still so hot when that's literally all you're wearing. But yeah, so for me, EVA armor is one of those things that I need to do my best to ensure that I can either have some cold packs on underneath, or that there is channels through it to try and ensure that there is air to pass through. Because I mean, even in that guts armor with the helmet off and most of it exposed, aside from basically breastplate, codpiece, I still die. I produce more sweat than probably Niagara Falls on a summer day. So
that's a lot of materials on on a costume. And then you have the helmet on as well, right?
Well, potentially, but see, that's the thing, is that I was able to kind of gut it, because that's the other thing that you'll learn, is that you can go for 100% accuracy, but unless you are going into a competition with that, where a judge is going to be crawling through the nitty-gritty of your costume to look at all the seams and what have you, you can gut that. And so it basically became bandage socks, balloon style skirt, a t-shirt, and cloak with forearm gloves. So aside from that, you can turn it into a relatively light costume. But yeah, I die in whatever normally.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back to guts as well, since we're talking about that, because like, that's a lot of foam, man. Like, and foam is not going to let go of heat, is it? It's going to hold heat.
It does, and that's the joy of also being able to take it out in some other areas, is showing people the diverse thing, because a lot of people have delved down the rabbit hole of following some of the people that are professional cosplayers, and they'll build the armor out of foam, then they'll layer thermoplastic on top of it, and I'm going, you don't need to. You can still get that effect without going that far, and you're saving yourself a fortune. You're reducing the weight of your cosplay by 2/3, 3/4. If you want to go that step, absolutely go that step, but just understand that you are putting so much more money and effort into something that you may not need to, especially because a lot of the time with that extra weight and what have you, it drags down the durability of the costume, as well as making you suffer even more for wearing it. But with my one of the events I run for Cosplay Picnic in Warkworth area, for those that want to try and venture north of Auckland or south of Whangarei, I try to guide a lot of cosplayers that are starting out with ideas and go-to poses that will work, so that they can always get a photo of their work. Because as we've said, with me doing cosplay for 30 years, anything older than I've got, I think, 3 photos of my cosplays before 2015, nothing else. And so there's so many of those cosplays that I cannot wear or would not wear again, but at the same time I have no proof that I've done them. And so it's one of those goals of mine to make sure that every cosplayer has at least one photo of a cosplay they've done, so that they can look back, compare. I mean, one of them someone shared with me, and I'm like, cool. I look so terrible in that. And it's my first go at doing Misa from Death Note. I'm like, don't hate on yourself. That was you then. That was you starting your journey. You're now 5 years later. Look at how far you've come. It's a progress point. And I hate that I don't have that, because I would love so much to show some people, look, here's one that I did and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Here's one that I did and I would be embarrassed to see myself in that now. But that was all that I had at the time, the best skills that I could muster. Look at how much I've learned since. I can now not only sew and do my leather work, but I can apply so much woodwork to replace the metalwork that we're not allowed to have at conventions. And you learn alternatives, and that's what I love so much about it as an art form, is that you're bringing to life things through pure creation and improvisation.
I was just thinking, like, when you're talking about like foam and stuff, and how, like, you when people get afraid, like they're not doing and like learning for the first time. I remember I was gonna do, for our first event, right? I was building a suit for Red Dot, with character I created, where he has a body armor suit, and I ran out of time doing it, and I was like, I was trying to make it like a waistcoat, and it was like so thick, and I was cutting it. I spent so much money on it. I think, at that time it was the first time I was doing it, and now it just sits there. That thing that just sits there, right? But I mean, 2 years ago when I went and actually did something, and put a bit of effort into it, like we ended up with this, and you did my hair here, right, on my wig, and but I was told, I think it was either Sonia the Hobbit, or if it was Lynette, who told me you should worry about your feet, because you're going to be in there for all day, right? Make sure your
gotta be comfortable.
So rather than making something like it, I actually just went and bought a friggin' $60 pair of sandals, right? Leather sandals, because it was comfortable. It was there. And then I was able, because I know how to sew, right? I was able to learn how to put it together, a actual costume, because it's a skill I actually learned when I was at high school and carried on with it, at primary school, I should say. But I don't know not much about foam yet. I thought foam would be the cool way to go, and that's the way I started. But if I had decided to actually go with fabric first, something that I knew how to work with, I might have been better, more confident, rather than waiting 5 years, or 3 years or 4 years before I actually went back to do it again. And,
exactly.
But like, I mean, I also, at the end actually worked at doing some foam, but actually was my cousin who actually built the actual thing and painted it for me. This let me just say, so this thing here, right? So he Dremelled it all, and gave him an opportunity to be part of this thing as well, because I didn't have the time to make it, but he actually had a good time doing it, and it was so cool being able to be part of that. And then that's when I got to meet you, and I realized that, like, how important it is to really think about the health of yourself while you're doing it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And
if you're not going to make the whole day, then you have to plan that you're only going to be in it for, say, 2 hours. So similarly, that's the thing with my Krogan and probably my Spartan build, is Krogans have quadruped back legs. So I'm going to be on angled stilts. So I'm going to be, I'll be suiting up in it, probably only doing about 2 hours, and then stripping back down, because otherwise I'm going to have severely cramped legs and not make it through the rest of the day. Yeah, that's a good one to show the way their legs go. So I'll be doing my best to incorporate that, but it won't be to those sort of dimensions. I mean, with the bones over the top of the backpack hump there, he's already looking to be about 8 feet. And as we know, doorways are something you've got to consider as well.
That's pretty huge. Like, I mean, I'll grab this other one here. Right. So this is pretty, like you said, 8 foot. So when you're looking at this, where's your head at here? Like, are you looking through here?
Yeah. Basically through his mouth is primarily where it's going to be, because the Krogan's head will be sitting, like a bicycle helmet on top. Then by using just a thin black cloth, you can line the inside of the mouth so that you are hidden, but you can still see.
Right.
And with, as one of my friends, Star Raccoon, you may have seen him as the Rocket Raccoon cosplayer in New Zealand, has taught me with some of his puppetry and what have you. I should be able to put a jaw strap so that basically as I over-extenuate my voice and everything I would say, I should be able to make the jaw flap so that he appears to be doing the puppetry talking.
I'm just trying to see. What was his name? Because
Nackmore Drac.
So this, what sort of material are you going to look at using on this? I mean, like you said about the bicycle helmet sort of setup, but like then you got the cloth with, for the mesh to look through. With the body armor here, and then you got the gloves, and you got the
full van braces and leg plates so that I can muscle it up like him as well. So
then you got the toe, what is that, claws or toenails?
Yeah, so that's the trick, is that because say what would, if we were comparing it to a human, their calves will basically be my whole leg, and from there it's going to go into like a ski boot clamp, so I can build the entire feet as the bottom of stilt, and so my the lower half of my legs will be held at a sort of 45-degree, 50-degree angle. So as I say, it'll only be a couple of hours because you'll be like
here,
half.
Right?
Yeah, my knees will be there.
Right.
And
but you're thinking like, if you're on stilts, are you like stilts are over here, or or is it?
Yeah. So the stilts will be, sort of lifting my feet not that far off the ground, so that the hyper ankles that they've got will only be 6 inches off the ground for me,
right?
Because that's where sort of the toes of my feet will be in the boots, and so I'll be sort of spend the entire time in a half squat position for walking,
right?
So hence I'm going, no, okay, I'll have to practice that a fair amount, and we'll probably only have a 2-hour limit for when I am in it before I'm like, nope, time.
Your
body's had enough.
Killer, right?
And thighs, because as we say, you're permanently in. If you've got your angle right, you've got the gravity on your side to help keep you upright, but you're permanently in that sort of half squat position. So,
hey, right, you've chosen this. This is like, it's going to be, it's a pretty full-on costume, right, for your cosplay, or character, I should say. What was the decision going into actually do that? Like, I mean, like, this is going to take a bit of work, and then also the health thing and making sure it looks good on the day and you're walking right, all that. But what was the decision to say, this is one of the ones I want to do now?
Well, it's always been the process of, as someone who watches a lot of anime, movies, video games, the path of a cosplayer is a slippery slope. You find characters that speak to you. I mean, I know it's supposed to be more of a discussion than an interview, but I'll just go straight back to it. As a kid, it was always being shy. The only way that I would feel comfortable getting out was adopting my heroes' personas. And so, so many characters that I adored growing up, I would take their personality, and that's who I would be if I had to go out or interact with people, or heck, even going to school. And so it sort of become the thing of, right, well, rather than, as I've grown older, rather than just being that character, let's do what we can to take those characters that helped me grow up and become the person I am, and show everyone else that, hey, look, this character inspired me, this character I love. this character helped the character that loved me. This one's a fan favorite. And then it becomes a thing of, okay, so now we instantly bond because you recognize this character.
Yeah.
And that's always a thing. Never think, especially unless you're a pro level cosplayer, never think that you have to be perfect. You don't have to be accurate of the character. My goal is always be recognizable.
Yeah.
If someone recognizes you as the character, you've done the job.
Right.
If someone recognizes the show, cool. If you want to cosplay a complete fan art version, understand that there's probably not many people that will recognize it. You'll look amazing, but you've got to temper your expectations, especially if you're looking to get recognized.
Yeah. I remember being, I think it must have been about 2008, and I was in Armageddon, and I hadn't been watching anime, like TV shows, right? I'm a movie watcher at that time, but ever since then, I'm more into like episodes rather than movies. So the frog, I don't know who it is. It's the frog girl from like My Hero Academia. Yeah, this look amazing. Like, it's like, and Susan, right, from Drawfest, I'm talking to her there, and I turn around, I'm looking, and like, oh, that's interesting. Look, what are you supposed to be? And I'm like, Susan goes, oh, that's from that. I'm like, shit, I should know this. It's anime. I'm into anime. Why don't I know this? I felt embarrassed, because it looked perfect. It was so good, and I didn't know the character, and I think there is going to be a time when not everybody knows who you are because they're not in that scene.
Absolutely.
And I think, it's just, and she was all good. She was like just smiling because as Susan explained to me, it's like, okay, I get it. It's just, I'm not, not in the anime scene yet, because later on I've been in full on right now, immersed in it. But like it's not always recognizable. And I think going into something like that, especially you're young, what do you have for somebody who's like going in young into it, like, and trying to come up with something they think it's going to be right, boom, and they realize that like not many people know.
No, and for years that was the thing for me. I mean, a lot of my early, believe it or not, there was a time when Bleach wasn't well known in New Zealand, and I cosplayed. I think it's like 20 characters now that I have cosplayed from Bleach. And now they're getting recognized. Now it's popular again.
Yeah.
But for the first 10, 15 years of me cosplaying characters, only a couple of times I'd get recognized as from that. And at the same scene, I mean, on the wall behind the camera here, I've got 500 different animes in box collections. So there's a lot of material out there. It's very easy, unless you're one of the ones that's only popular at the moment. There's a lot of chance that people aren't going to recognize it or will misrecognize it. There's several characters that look incredibly similar to ones in other shows. And so as long as you can be humble and go, oh, well, no, I'm actually from this. A lot of people, especially myself, will even go, hey, that's amazing. That's so-and-so from right? No, I'm so sorry. So, no, hey, that might be something you even want to check out and find another character that's similar to one that you loved. But yeah, that was, since you pulled up your manji, I figured, right, okay, I better show you because...
I remember you showing me, and I was like, I was looking at all that weapons because I'm a weapons fan. I was like, that's so cool.
No, it was, I think it was 2015 because I used to have access to a forge. So years prior to that, I'd been making metal weapons, which of course you can't take to a convention. But at the same time, I always thought, well, there's nothing that's going to look as good as that, as the real thing in photos. So even if I'm only doing photos around the farm, what have you. But 2015, I think it was, because I'd come off my motorbike and had to have my entire shoulder reconstructed and could only work with one arm. It was touch and go whether I got to keep the arm. I had a whole year off to get ready for the big Auckland Armageddon, and thought, right, well, okay, so we're doing a bleach squad that year. What am I going to do? You know what? I'll sew what I can. I'll order the cosplays that I can, and to outfit everyone for my big deal. And I started just working with wood, and I made it was 11 props out of wood, and like every one of those props in that picture are just made out of wood and painted.
Are you able to zoom in?
Sorry?
Are you able to zoom in so we can get some,
Yeah, sure.
Look at that.
So from the needles to the throwing stars to the scythes.
That's so cool, man.
But and so that's the thing. They're light, reasonably flexible. I don't have to worry about them getting wet. I mean, most of them have gone for swimming shoots and water shoots in a waterfall scene and stuff like that. And if one does break, I'll go to Bunnings, get another bit of timber for $20 and sit there and shape and sand, and hey, I might even get it straighter than the last one I made. But again, it's all just using what you've got access to or what you're able to. I mean, I've seen people do just as good a job with cardboard, and you'd think, really, cardboard hold up? I mean, sure, in a high wind situation like Wellington, or if the weather's really crummy, you won't want to have your prop out in it. But at the same time, for a convention and getting a couple of photos, with the right photographer, you can make something that looks half decent look amazing. That's what I say with every shot I'm in. If a photographer's gotten a shot of me and I like it, they have done amazing work, because I cannot stand myself in front of the camera. That's why I'm usually the one behind the camera as a photographer in cosplay. Yeah. But also getting brave enough to get some photos so that my stuff is recorded, because as we say it, there's nothing more disheartening than going, Final Fantasy VIII, I've done Squall, Irvine, and Zell. Can I see photos? Yeah. No, you can't.
I wonder if if you were at events with those, and if somebody there at that event had taken photos of them, and they could, you could hound them for the photos.
Well, it's been that sort of thing.
If you're at events, people take it and you're not aware of it, and yet you can. Yeah.
No, it's that same sort of thing as I often discuss in Cosplay New Zealand, the Facebook forum sort of group, is at a convention, there will be easily 100 photos taken of you. However, a lot of them will potentially be without your knowledge. So while it can be, it's something that's generally frowned upon, it doesn't stop it happening, especially from some of the general public. I mean, it's the same with why some cosplayers like my Army of Two cosplay don't get to go out to most conventions, not because it's tactical gear and prop weapons aren't safe or don't meet compliance. It's because someone with no knowledge that comes to the event can then complain or make an issue of it, and then it becomes an issue for the whole scene. But at the same time, unless the photo being taken is by one of the recognized photographers or someone who introduces themselves as an event photographer, chances are you will never see those photos. And that's where we have such an amazing community in the photography section in New Zealand. Jesse from APG and his team, he's got 5 or 7 people that all help out under the APG umbrella. They do photos and videography. I'm just mental blanking all of a sudden. Keen from Capturing Cosplay took that photo of Manji. Kohika Creative, who I work with a lot at the conventions because I keep him. He's as bad as many of the cosplayers. Right, cool. You know, I'll just take these other 3 people. Oh, we've got 5 more on the line. All right, well, I'll get through them and then I'll have a break. Yep. Okay, it's now 4 o'clock. You've been going since 10 a.m. Buddy, have you even had a drink of water? Oh, yeah. Here's an energy drink. Here's a muesli bar. Eat it. I'll do these photos. Then you jump back in. Okay. Are you going to go for bathroom break as well? Good. Are you okay? I'm fine. Just take a break, man. CGR. No, we have a huge collection of really good and professional cosplay photographers who will ensure that everyone who is happy to have their photo taken will get at least 1 or 2 amazing photos that will generally be posted up either via Armageddon's website, or Cosplay New Zealand will have a thread for most recent event albums to go up. And, you know, boom, there you go. Have a look through. You'll get to see a whole lot of cosplayers that you probably didn't even see were at the event, because let's be real, 20, 30,000 people in a day, you're going to miss stuff. And at the same time, then you get to yours and bang, okay, there's a copy of your photo, and you can generally have the watermarked social media one for free.
Yeah.
If you want, you can contact them and get the high res so that you could have it in your repertoire in case a magazine or something. Actually, I wonder what con artists are doing lately. Con Artist, New Zealand's cosplay magazine thing. Oh, right. But yeah, because they've done an interview with me as well, and talking about being humble and just taking it easy in the scene and making sure to be inclusive.
Yeah, and try not to be too stressed out over what's going on. One thing I want to think about, I was thinking about when you mentioned about Armageddon. The cosplay is almost like a service to what that event is. It's like, you're having competitions and all that, but you actually are walking in hand as to make that event even more better for the young ones.
Oh, absolutely.
For fans. Kids go,
there's been
Spider-Man, or
there's been a conversation going for a long time that without the cosplayers, you wouldn't probably have 2/3 of the people that attend the events.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do. I mean, I myself, like, cool, they've got these guests. Awesome. That's great. I'll see them if the lines aren't too big, then I'll happily go and queue up with them. If they're not guests, I'll still be going because I want to catch up with my friends, and it's a chance for us to get together, show off our cosplays. It's the gathering. I mean, aside from a picnic, I might not see these people. I mean, that's why I go to Christchurch, Wellington, what have you, because some of those people, if I didn't go to those cons, I would only see them at most once a year, and typically at a convention in fleeting time, because everyone's got somewhere to be, something to see. They really want to check out this booth, or they've heard that, there's stock of this new game or a demo that they get to try. They've got to go and get in queue for doing that. So you might only get to see each other, maybe hug, get a photo, and you may not see them for the rest of the day, even if you're looking for them. But at the same time, a lot of people do go to see the cosplayers. That is the thing. Right, okay, so we're going to go and check the stalls.
Yeah.
Those people that go and just check the stalls are in and out of the convention. They've maybe spent 2 hours there.
Yeah.
Those people that go and check that and then go, okay, but I also want to see this. I also really want to spend some time in Artist Alley and see some of the amazing fan arts or original productions that people have done, some of the comics that get produced by our New Zealand crowds and New Zealand writers. And, it becomes the whole day thing. And then it's right. Okay, well, what else is there to see? Oh, we've caught up with that. Okay, now we need to get food. And so a con weekend becomes for me, each day of a convention is about a 17, 18-hour day.
Yeah.
From getting up in the morning, getting people ready, getting them to convention, looking after my friends' stalls and booths, helping other cosplayers, possibly setting up and doing my own photo shoots. Convention over, we sort out everyone getting some food, getting a chance to relax, socialize, get back, de-kit, fix up anything that needs to be repaired for the next day of wearing, hit the hay, or by then it's right, cool, everyone's down and right, now I'll start pulling up photos. Anyone who's like me and doesn't sleep can sit as I'm going through the photos, doing some light touch-ups, get them balanced. Cool, all right. Through the watermark, get them online so that those other people who were that excited from their first convention, first time wearing, had met some people they loved.
Yeah.
Start browsing Facebook to try and see it. There's a photo of me. Cool, I can share that with my post and story. And then they're even more excited for the next day. Yeah. And then it becomes those that would go to one day of the weekend are suddenly going, like me, all 4 of Labor Weekend Armageddon, or all 3 of Winter One, or traveling to the other end of the country just to spend 3 days catching up with people and getting photos.
And not only that, but you got all the traveling, all the places you got to organize where you're going to stay, especially if you're going to walk with to Auckland, but then now you're going to Christchurch, now you're going to Wellington, and all the it's it is an amazing economical thing for the entire New Zealand. If there's one person doing that, and then there's like 100, then like about 500, there's a lot of money moving around that actually benefits each of those communities. And that's why I reckon that like whenever some events are on, it's always beneficial for the local community to become part of that, because it shows when I was doing the budgeting for Plunge, I was thinking like, okay, so it's only this many people coming, but I'm thinking, so they got to travel all the way from Kaitaia, or from, in your case, from Warkworth. Now they've spent the money to travel just for the fuel. That's where the first amount gets spent. Now they got to buy food on the way there. Now they got to get food on the way while they're there. Now they got to spend
potentially parking tickets for entry.
Yeah, and people don't think about that, but like when you're like organizing these things, you really think about the actual economic benefit to the actual community when you have a guest come in, when you have like these special events on. It pulls in a lot of people from all walks of life that you never think they would actually come, and that's beneficial to your community's growth, because that means there's a culture coming in, what we like to call culture, but the arts culture that's coming in, that's getting imparted onto young people, and they're getting amazed by it. They're getting to see the art. They're talking to the guests, or they're talking to the cosplay. How do you do this? How do you do that? Now they're learning skills. They're upskilling. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that events are like that more than, like, as you mentioned, right? There's a lot of communication, there's a lot of friendships going on, but there's also the learning factor, because while you're talking to your friend, he's going, well, how do you get that on there, right? And now you got a hands-on education on how to use that. There. And I'm sure you guys have that all the time, but a lot of people don't see that, because I remember like you guys were fixing, you were fixing making me look good, right? With my, because I had no idea how to freaking do it, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, I have no idea. Like, there's no way I don't know how to do this wig, to look the way it's supposed to look. And yet you guys knew it, and you were able to do it. And I was able to walk away and then come back later, all done up, and then get a photo of it. And now I can go walk around with it on, looking really good, even though I didn't even have a clue how to do it. And I think that's a great part about what you guys do at these events, and because you're imparting knowledge in your own sort of community of cosplayers.
It is. It's all about growing community, building friends, helping each other grow, upskill, and that whole bubble of, right, okay, so I'm the dad in the community now. So from there, it's up to me to help inspire others to look at growing into being the older brothers, sisters, to then potentially be moving up the role so that when I eventually reach the point that as Master Roshi or Head Captain Yamamoto, I can no longer be the helpful one at events if I can attend at all, that there are people to fill the shoes and help each other grow and become so much. I mean, that's one of the things that I've definitely seen in the last 30 years is just how exponentially the skill level has grown and the techniques and the amazing quality of cosplays that we are now producing. And these are people who are so excited. I mean, I have a couple of them, oh, you know, this is only my second cosplay. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Are you seeing this? Was, oh, well, I followed this technique and that technique. Awesome. I'm so glad you've got those skills. Don't be afraid of trying this or this or this. And but what if it doesn't work out? Don't worry about it. It's all a progressive skill.
Yeah.
You start with something and you learn you readapt it, you build it higher, you find it's what it's all about is trying something. If it doesn't work, hey, if it comes to the convention time and you've got something wearable but isn't finished, been several times people have been like that with 40K creations because, you know, you've seen Space Marines, they're enormous suits of armor and stuff, and they're like, oh, I know, but it's only EVA, it hasn't been painted. Dude, it's still impressive. Come get photos of it, and there you go. There's the in progress shot to when you can then show, right, and now this is it painted. Boom!
Yeah. And I think even like, you know, that work in progress is so cool as well. I think, you know, like, because you can see that, like, you're seeing it develop into what they finally were, and it's just amazing. Like, it's like you know, when I put out like comic designs online, like my artist has done or something, and I'm like, oh, look at now, it's just like, you know, thumbnails and stuff. Next thing is like the whole character. I'm like, wait, I never thought it would get, you know, that will be the final version of it. But as it develops, you know, it's the same thing with cosplay. I think watching people, you know, share their photos online and, you know, and then see them dressed up at the final spot, you know, at the, you know, for the photo shoot, whatever, and they're posing and they, you know, it's like you know, like the cherry on the top, because all that work's been put into it, and now you get the step-by-step work in progress. It's just the best thing. And so you've got this. How do you like as we finish off here, right? How do you plan what will work and what won't work going into it? Like, is there a time when you go, well, yeah, I'm probably going to need more skills, so I'm going to put that aside for this time, and I'm going to choose this one now.
Oh yeah. That Spartan image I showed earlier, that has, like I say, been back and forth on the front burner, done this much. That's not going to work. I'll try making this for the helmet. That didn't work. Okay, so that's not even salvageable. That's scrap. That's it's going to sit back there until I feel like I'm skilled enough to tackle it. And I mean, that was the same with the Guts project. I've built 6 or 7 different forms of his armor from over the years, and a lot of them were only good for a single wear. That EVA build of the Berserker armor I've been wearing since, I think it was 2017. So, you know, it's lasted 5 years of me going, okay, well, it made it. I'll, you know, rebuild it later. I'll rebuild it later. I'll rebuild it. Okay, I think it's time I finally scrap it and I'll just start again. But as we say, it's that ever-growing progress, and sometimes sometimes you've got to not be afraid of it failing, that you go and try something, and if it doesn't work out, then hey. And a lot of people, I feel, do not understand the value of sharing their work in progress shots as well. Leading up to Again, that's one of the things I love seeing is people's work in progress, things going into Con Crunch, because I don't think they realize how much it excites other people and encourages them, hey, look, my build's only this far. Keep working on yours, because I want to see what you're going to be wearing at Armageddon. And I can understand sometimes secret projects and things. Like I say, I have never posted progress work on some of them because I don't know if it's going to get done in time.
Yeah.
So better that we just keep those photos aside. And when
Yeah.
I do have a deadline for it, cool, I might release the whole lot. And there you go. Here's the finished project, it in stages, this failed attempt, this one. And, you know, some of the photos will be 5 years old or longer. But hey, you can see it's been worked on for a while and how I worked out each step. And it's so helpful to other cosplayers sharing your progress so that they can learn from your pioneering pathway.
Mm. And the other thing I noticed is like not everybody has the same skills, and that's what I'm saying earlier about like learning off each other, and especially like with people's backgrounds in different technologies, right? And even like if their parent knows something more, handy stuff, or mum knows how to tie that knot better, or stitch better, or something like that, that gets imparted to everybody else in the community by sharing that the work in progress thing.
Oh,
This
absolutely.
Yep.
This is one of my friends, Archon Cosplay. He produces a lot of Halo suits, and similarly, that enormous grav hammer there is a wooden pole, basically for its structural support. The entire head is EVA foam, and the energy generators, field generators on it, are cans. So I think they're V cans.
Yeah.
So
they're small enough, right, to make it work for the whole size.
Yeah. And so it fits in there, but at the same time, it's just using okay. So we'll improvise what we can for it to be light, so it's not too cumbersome. But as you see, it has such an amazing effect, especially then when you tie in playing with the camera angles to try and create such things.
That's wicked. Have you got any other photos to share? And then we'll do like words of wisdom bit they like to do on here, and then we'll finish off.
Okay. So 20.
That's from
Stargate.
That's the one. I was like, I knew as I couldn't, yeah. I'm a huge fan of Atlantis. I've got is it Emma Thompson? Not Emma Thompson. I always forget her name. Like, but I'll show you. Gosh, one of my most favorite memories. All right, from Armageddon, Stargate Atlantis. I always forget her name, but British actress.
We do get a lot of the Stargate stars, which is awesome.
Yeah.
There we are. It's Zagreus, and it must have been the following year. It's the gift and the curse of also being a cosplay photographer, as I'll have albums everywhere of cosplays and stuff. I think it's one of these ones. Some of the tokens of one of the areas that I do a picnic.
Yeah, can you zoom into that? Oh, well. I don't know.
So someone cosplaying Nathan Drake and Goblin Slayer.
I love Goblin Slayer. I can't believe someone actually did the costume for that. That is so cool.
Harry Drake props, I think. And some of the other squad, because of course it's that sort of thing of, okay, how are you going to get an angle like that? Easy. Hold this while I go swimming.
Yeah.
And just dive in with the camera above the water so that we can start playing with full reflection shots like that.
Wow. That's so cool, man.
But all just little tricks that I also try to teach others who want to start out doing photography or just having poses for if they are then planning on going to conventions and things, because it's important to record it, as well as, you know, always feeling proud when people are complimenting you for what you have built and what have you. Because remember, no matter how small it is,
I mean, a lot of people don't want to take the compliment on, and like they just go, "Oh yeah, no," but I just accept it, say thank you, and you know, because
we as cosplayers are notorious, especially when we are talking to other cosplayers. You know, a cosplayer comes up to you and goes, "Oh, you know, you look so amazing. It's so well done." I'm like, please don't look too close, because I mean, this scene terrible, and there's no back to the. It's like,
nobody cares about that. They just
you know. However, you look amazing. Take that, and if they start discussing the other things, that's where it can be. And I know it's a defense mechanism for all of us of going, yeah, but it's not perfect. Don't put me on too high a pedestal. It's like, yeah, true. But at the same time, you deserve to be recognized for what you've done.
Yeah. That's a good shot. Just the pose is perfect as well. Yeah.
I think, oh, whoops, other screen.
Zoom in.
That might be the blurry one. But Night King from
Game of Thrones.
Yep. And then we played around. I don't think I've got the edited photo in here of us fading the color out of the trees and what have you to make it look more of the sort of frozen.
The bluish tones and white.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, Cosplay Lab definitely invests a lot in his creations as well. But similarly, that armor that he's wearing is all just EVA foam that you've cut a portion of the way through so that it can have the scale style effect.
Yeah.
It also allows it to
thing, like the technique. Because in my head I was thinking he's probably cut it and then pasted it on, and then you're like, oh no, he's done that, and then I realized that when you do that, it actually, you know, parts, and then there's the gaps in between, and that's what you see.
Yeah,
you know, like
allows a little bit more form around your body as well.
Yeah,
because that's the thing. EVA is really good at allowing you to flex and move, which is why it's one of my go-tos.
Hey, I was going to ask, what character is that from? I mean, what shows or game is that from? The one in the red?
Oh, the previous one? Zagreus from the game Hades, Supergiant game.
Yeah.
So they're a phenomenal studio for making little roguelike games that have incredible amounts of story to them. Not bad for a game studio of like 7 people.
Yeah.
There's a group shot. There's a group shot, and it's in there. Maybe. People playing with the Alucard hat. And that's another fun thing is, of course, never be afraid of... there it is. It's all well and good being serious, but remember, it's in the name. Play. Cosplay is there for having fun. Joking around, matching up, making different worlds come together. And, you know, it's probably one of the biggest selling points of cosplay is you're wearing something that you're a fandom of, literally. Right. And that's the beacon to anyone else who's a fan of the same thing. And so that's an instant connection between you and another person, as you know that you like the same show, possibly the same character. And from there, it's like an easy foot in the door for building friendships. And then you're in a community and learning how to help each other. And well worthwhile for anyone who's got any sort of fandom, which I think should be just about anyone.
Yeah, just to have fun and enjoy it. Yeah, it's so cool. Like watching all the different characters, and I'm like trying to recognize. I can recognize some of them. Some of them I have no clue, and
Yeah.
some just look great. And I'm enjoying the fact that they look amazing and the work that goes into them.
Yeah,
So cool. Hey, can you zoom in a bit?
sure.
Yeah. So, there we go. So we get a bit. Yes. So you got Attack on Titan. Of course, you've got is it Dragon Ball Z? Am I right? Or is it Naruto?
Yep.
Naruto, then Kid. Who's in the front here with the armor? Is it from? I mean, so weapons, gun, and then you've got on the left.
I think he was Call of Duty, but
Right.
yep. I forget who it is, what show it was that was right on the left. Cabbage Merchant from Avatar.
In the green.
Yep.
Yeah.
Star Wars character. I don't think it may have been a specific character. It may have just been a character of their own. Tokyo Mew Mew in the middle. Pony Brony in the tactical. Rainbow Dash in between there. Miku crouching down in front. And Mia Zabuza up the back. And yeah, I think the others were an OC and just tagging along.
It's awesome, man. All right, so in finishing here, I'll give you a couple minutes to think about it. But we usually do like a 3 to 5 minute words of wisdom thing.
Right.
Trying to steal your wisdom and
fair.
and share that with the rest of the world about it's your 30 years, because I mean that's a lot of years of knowledge and accumulation and skills and everything. But just what do you think and want to say to the people who are coming into cosplay or are in cosplay. So give me 1 sec. I'll put you on full screen and I'll let you go ahead. When you're ready.
It'll be pretty short because most of it, as you can tell, is kind of ingrained from the conversation throughout. I am 100% the sort of person who says just get out there, give it a go. If you've got a character in mind or something that you love and you feel that you could represent it, take the first step, give it a try. And as always, it's just that simple thing of do what you can with what you have available to you. If it works out and you get recognized, that's the top tier of what you could want. It's all a learning curve from there. Otherwise, it's just have fun, be humble, and be kind. Because not everyone is at your skill level. Not everyone has started the journey at the same time as you. If you've got something that you want to try and do, then try and do it. But at the same time, you don't want to drag anyone else down who has been trying probably their best as well. We're all on our own journey. Just remember that everyone wants to do their best and have fun. And if you can recognize someone else's character, it will make their day. The number of times that's happened to me, and one person in a whole day of convention recognizes the character or just even the show that the character's from. And, the whole day is awesome from that perspective. But at the same time, I don't expect anyone to. You just go with it, hope for the best, have fun, and always be kind and inclusive to others, because a lot of people just need a friend out there too, especially if you can work and help each other grow and build even bigger, better stuff.
Awesome. Hey, now Shinra Props, does it have a website? Does it have a Facebook channel or Twitter or something like that?
It's it's on Instagram, which I distaste, and Facebook is that's where I share all of my cosplay related stuff and photo albums is through Shinra Props and Cosplay, because otherwise it would get lost in the mess of other feeds and things and what have you. And I tend to not be very active on Facebook at the best of times. Joys of working 2-3 shifts, but anyone got any questions or want any help with cosplay, you can always just throw me a message and I'll either know someone who can possibly help you or try and just help you with what knowledge I have from my long time in it. We're generally a very friendly and inclusive group, so please feel free to join us.
Awesome. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate it, Seth. Have an awesome day, man. I thank you for your time. It's just so cool to get to talk to you again after like almost like a year or so. So
yeah, it feels like it anyway.
Yeah, it's gone too fast. So it's like we just talked the other day, right? So thank you so much, man. And
all right, good to talk to you.
You want to say anything and parting, and then I'll finish off here.
No, I think I'll leave you to it, and I should probably go get dinner started.
Awesome. Thanks, bud. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. And I love these conversations. As you know, I like to talk to people and stuff. So next week we have Katie Dead, who's got a channel called Katie Dead channel and on YouTube. And she's going to talk about, come across and we'll talk about her channel and comics and podcasting and, pop culture and stuff and a commentary. So when, we'll catch you next week, but wherever you are, be well, be safe. And like I always say, if you've got a loved one nearby, give them a kiss. And if you haven't, and they're far away, jump on, Facebook or social media, let them know that you're okay. And let them know that you're thinking about them. People sometimes need that. And a word, online could even, be their little place to make them happy for that moment. So thank you. Ka kite anō. See you next time.